Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to yet another insightful session of the Glass Academy webinars in association with Ethos Empowers. We're thrilled to have you all here today as we continue to explore the ever evolving intersections of architecture, materials, sustainability, and innovation. Today's session, titled Leveraging Glass to Tackle Large Scale Design Challenges, explores how glass played a pivotal role in overcoming real world design challenges across large scale architectural projects, demonstrating how thoughtful use of different types of glass can ensure strength, stability, aesthetics, and conceptual harmony. From enhancing structural strength to achieving sustainability goals and expressing a design concept with clarity, glass has been instrumental in bringing these large scale projects to life. The session will highlight the strategic thinking behind glass selection, the balance between form and function, and how evolving glass technologies are empowering architects to design spaces that are not only visually stunning but also responsible, efficient, and future ready. We're delighted to welcome architect Akilan, the founder and lead architect of LayArc, whose work across Chennai and Karaikal reflect a deep commitment to thoughtful design. Architect Akilan R is an accomplished architect with over 15 years of experience in the field of architecture and the founder of LayArc, an architectural firm known for its innovative and contextual design since 2014. He is also the visionary behind Arconflex, an educational platform aimed at empowering young minds in architecture. With a strong belief that every project should evolve from its context, Architect Akilan's work is characterized by spaces that are perceived in new and meaningful ways. His design philosophy blends sensitivity to climate, integration of current trends with timeless spatial qualities, and seamless commitment to sustainability. Under his leadership, LayArc has built a diverse portfolio across residential, hospitality, educational, commercial, event spaces, and especially in steel structures as well. His team of young creative architects share a deep rooted passion for enhancing the quality of life through thoughtful and sustainable design solutions. Architect Akilan holds a BR, MArch, and an associate member of the Indian Institute of Architects AIIA, also registered architect and Council of Architecture. His practice is defined by the dedication to functionality, high architectural standards, ecological responsibility, cost awareness, and timely delivery, the values that continue to shape every project undertaken by LayArc. Welcome, Architect Akilan. We're absolutely delighted to have you here with us today. And let's jump into the design discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Anvita, for the warm introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting our invite, sir.
Yeah.
So to begin with, we are all curious to know what initially sparked your interest in architecture and that journey that eventually led you to founding of LayArc.
See, actually, I'm very much interesting in creating something actually from my childhood. I used to do small designs actually. So basically, I approach things in a different perspective. So whenever, if you see in our day-to-day life, everything what we see is something a creation. So from the minute you got up from the bed to sleep, so even any products or buildings, the vehicles, the furnitures, so whatever you see, there is a creation in it. So I want to create something. So that's why I choose architecture. So later I understand architecture is not just creating spaces, which is also a social responsibility. Also, with architecture, which is contributing to our society and it's reflect our society standards actually. So that's how I start to feed my creativity. Also, I just got a lot of job opportunities in abroad. Still, I want to contribute to our country, so I just started my practice on my own. So it's been 10 years we have completed now. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. I mean, the last word that you said that you wanted to start the practice in your country, I think is a nudging point for many budding architects. We feel today's day and time we are in India, I think is a lot of opportunity for youngsters to start something on their own. Though
Yes.
we fancy the idea of Western thought process or design or exploring things on the other country, I think the nativity or the understanding with respect to the context, which is very strong for
True.
us because we're born and brought up here, we've lived around certain buildings and we know the flaws and how to address it
Yeah.
rightfully. I think that's a very beautiful way that you put forth that you, though you had the option to move, you
Yeah.
decided to stay back and stick.
Yes.
So now that we spoke about how important the context is, sir, I'm trying to build another question that our audience might be interested in. So your
Okay.
work is known for its strong contextual grounding that we all know we saw, and how do you approach the understanding the context of a site with respect to architecture, and how does it influence the design decisions you make as an architect?
Yeah, actually, the site context is the soul of any project because whenever if you design a project or approaching to start a design, we should understand the context of the site, the
Right,
topography, the movement of the light, how the architectural surroundings is there actually. Also about the environment, ecology, and the road access. So proximity. So everything together, put together, we just start with the design actually. So basically, it's like based on the site locations and architectural style, we can even think about contrasting of doing something. It's need not
right.
be matched with the local context. See, sir, sometimes for sustainability factors, we also choose some locally available material to cut off the costing also that will be adding value to the project instead of getting material from different sources. That is one way of approaching. And another way, we can also give some contrast element to the architecture, and that will stand out from the local architectural style also. So the site context is very, very strong element which we need to consider for any type of design to start with.
Absolutely. I think we all begin with site with respect to architecture. And we're also curious to know, like LAYAC has worked across wide range of typologies. In the day and age where we see architects niching residential spaces or commercial spaces, you have covered it all from
Yeah.
residences to institutional to commercial, and including event space and steel structures that we really wanted to highlight in this discussion today. So we're curious to know what drives your adaptability across such diverse projects that you handle day to day.
Yeah, actually, we don't have any fixed formula for this approach. So basically, each and every project has its own individual requirements. It has its own individual dependency, and also we have some client needs also. So we have
Right.
to find the right solution for each and every project because to design a different typology of building, each one has the purpose of the building to cater different purposes actually. So we have to capture as a solution for each and every project. So finally, we have to satisfy our client needs also. Also, like for example, for example, we have to think about the project typology. Also, we have to incorporate state-of-art facilities which
Right.
need to be incorporated in the design so that we can compete with the industry leaders actually. Because whoever the different type of typology of projects which they are approaching me, for example, hotel clients will be there, like a commercial building, office buildings, like event spaces. So everything has different categorization. We have to match with the industry standards also. So in types of technology, in means of building services, the latest equipments. So everything we need to take care of to achieve that design. Then only they can, how to say that, they can compete with the industry leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. They also want their designs to be the best with
Yes.
respect to the
Yes.
requirements of them, and also the industry standards to be maintained with respect to institutional or like
Exactly.
hospitality, like you're mentioning. Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. And also, you're the mind behind our conflicts, which we were all very interested to know, an educational platform for young architects. So, what inspired you to take that initiative, and how do you see education shaping the future of architecture in India, especially?
See, art conflicts is a baby now, right now, actually. So, how I got the thought to start art conflicts is I have traveled almost 18 countries in the past 10
Right.
years. So, I used to observe a lot of architectural buildings and lot of architectural landmarks. There are historical buildings from Egyptian pyramids to many typology of olden architecture. Also, if you see like Burj Khalifa, kind of a latest modern architectural styles also. So, by seeing this, it's not just building. I just want to bring all these typology of projects through materials, the sustainability, the technology, the innovation. So through these means, I want to document all these projects and I want to put it in a video platform. So
Okay.
architectural enthusiasts and the students, whoever are keen to architecture, they can understand the more detail about each and every projects. So that's the vision which we are building the team to do that in proper streamline. Now we have Instagram handles to handle all these type of projects in the name of R conflicts. So
Right.
that's the idea behind that.
Absolutely great. So it's like an architectural online learning platform.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. We're looking forward to be,
Yeah.
kind of our audience to be able to get some value exchange on your platform as well. So we wish you all the best with that initiative of yours
Thank you.
as well.
Thank you.
So coming to the next question we had in our mind. So your projects are known for their strong commitment to sustainability and functionality. How do you see glass as a material playing a role in that equation, especially in the large scale projects that you do?
Okay. So regarding the glass, see, glass is something, whenever I think about glass, if there is no glass found in the world, so how the buildings will exist? So there is no connectivity between any spaces actually. So I am
Right.
seeing glass as a connecting space between human and the external world actually. I want to show some slides about that glass.
Absolutely.
Send that. So I want to talk about this glass. If you see this image, you can see how because of this glass, how we are connected with the nature actually. So without glass, just imagine this image, how this will look. If there is a solid wall behind this, there is no connectivity between external space and the internal space. So basically, glass's main unique ability is to dissolve boundaries actually between inside and outside. Through glass, we can connect with the nature also. So if you see this slide, you can see the architecture and nature how it is connected. So behind the glass, what you see is totally a contrast world and the real world. So behind that, we are living in it. So it's basically between architecture and nature, the connectivity is there. Also, if you see this, it's a built form and human emotion. So we can view a different typology of built from through our living spaces actually. Also, it frames views and creates sense of openness. So if you thoughtfully design the glass, it's not just making the building transparent, even it's make it alive actually. It changes through the day with light and reflections. So it's constantly connected with the surroundings. That's the idea of the glass. Also, it will invite light. So through these slides, what I'm trying to convey is glass can be used in all surfaces. It's no matter, it can be a wall, it can be a floor, it can be a ceiling. So everywhere we can use the glass to get connected with the outside world actually. That's why I just want to mean it as a connector. Also, glass is a modern, sustainable, and aesthetical as well, actually, to the newest architectural standards. So, basically, in architecture, glass plays a key role in enhancing adaptability and storytelling. It's not just functional, it's emotional. It helps architecture breathe, actually. That's how we approach glass in each and every projects in our firm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very well put. I think now that we have pictures in front of us that we saw, we'll be able to relate it to a much better level.
Yes.
So that now that we saw a glimpse of the visual understanding of the importance of glass that was put beautifully through a amalgamation of pictures that you shared on your presentation. And this leads me to the next question, where you worked on a wide range of projects from hotels and wedding halls to experience centers and commercial buildings. Could you walk us through a few of these projects where glass played a pivotal role in shaping the design, both in terms of aesthetic and performance? Now that you shared your initial presentation, we're interested to see a little more about your projects as well. You can feel free to have a dialogue and share your screens.
Definitely, definitely. So basically, I just want to explain about the typologies of glass actually. So if you think about the glass, see, glass can be used in architecture for different medium. It can be for strength purpose, it can be for safety purpose, it can be for thermal insulation purpose. So the purpose of the glass defines building
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
So I just want to present about the typology of glasses and how it helps in doing the design in our large scale projects. I just
Yes.
want to share my
Absolutely.
screen. See, actually, as I mentioned, you can see this is lot of typology of glasses you can see. If you take a toughened glass, it's a stronger one. So when it broke actually, it will get into smaller pieces actually. So that is the main objective of toughened glass. Also, you can see a laminated glass. So laminated glass has two different glasses with a PVB layer. So where if it is got broken also, it's more safer. So that's why this can be used in the skylights or hand railing, those type of areas. And tinted glass is something which reduce glare. Also, insulated glass unit and DG, which is double glazing unit, which we can use for mainly for soundproofing and insulation purpose. So reflective glass also it's mainly used for privacy and reducing heat load. This low E glass, which is mainly for absorption of UV radiation, which will block the light, also the internal reflection. So this is also improves the energy efficiency of the building. So these are all the types of glass which is we used in our projects. So firstly, I just want to move with my first project. This is a hotel, like this luxury hotel, which we designed and which is recently completed. So when the moment you see this sketch, we want to create a palatial kind of a building. So as I mentioned in my initial discussion, the site context is the main objective to design any project. So if you see this project, this is in the Tier 2 city of Karaikal, which is also a outskirt of Karaikal. So in this site, you can see all these type of surrounding with nature and lot of small buildings which is existing in the surrounding. So the moment we see this site, we just got to thought to design something like a palatial structure, also which is totally contrasting to the site context. So which will give a monolithic feel to the road presence. Also, the building will look totally in a monolithic way. So if you see this, you can feel that palace kind of a structure. So the moment we blankly think about the design, we doesn't have any thought about the materials, but we want to compose this design as glass, like a sandstone finish, and with some kind of a enhancing light elements to add to this design. So later on, we thought about a final rendering. So you can see this under the construction time of this project, where you can see a massive structure without the glass. We just done with the primer finish. So this is the architectural render which we made it. So if we want to create a monolithic structure, also a sandstone finish, as I mentioned before. So you can see this blue color glass, which is breaking the monotony. So initially we thought about going with the glass, but we didn't think about the typology of glass. So we just made it with the blue glass. It's totally breaking the monotony of the building actually. So later on, we thought about Midas gold glass. So this is the site which I told actually. It's a complete monolithic structure and painted with the primer finish. So while designing, we thought about giving some sandstone look for this building. So you can see our rendering. So this has the monolithic view of the complete building with sandstone color texture paint, and we have given with the work with the blue color glazing. So this blue glazing is totally blocking and breaking the monotony of this complete facade. So we thought about another glass through Saint-Gobain, which is called Midas Gold. So you can see this. So we tried with that Midas Gold glazing, which is totally blend with our complete design, and we also got a monolithic view of the building. So this is the next option rendering which we achieved with the Midas Gold design. So it's a 6 mm thick glass. So you can see this under construction image. The complete building is now painted with the sandstone texture color paint finish. We made a mock-up with the Midas Gold glass. So you can see the mock-up also. There is a small square piece of glass has been installed there. So after this, we got approval from client. Then we proceed with the installation. So you can see how the Midas Gold is in the process to adding value to the facade. So the final result was totally magical here. So we choose to use Midas glass for the facade, not just for aesthetic richness, but how it is harmonizes with the overall architectural language. So now we finally got that monolithic visual through this glass and the texture paint and this lighting. So in the daytime, you can see this massive look of the building, which is complementing the complete design language. So these are all some daytime views. So you can see the reflection of sky in this glass. Also, it totally blend with the that monolithic structure concept. See, we use this Midas Gold not only in the main facade. So wherever we get to use the smaller details around the building, we use the same glass to get the language, design language. So mainly this Midas Gold is more special, which is has that subtle metallic sheen to the glass. Also, it's warmly glow during in the evening. Also, it refined hue, that gold finish of hue during the daytime. Also, it gives a visual dynamism to the complete design. So later on, we thought about the Midas Gold can be used in interiors because we just want to have the continuity of external space. So we just brought in the Midas Gold glazing into the interior part. So where we can have the same coloring in the atrium space and the common areas of internal part of the building. So this is how it's blend with the design. Also, this is another laminated glass which we used in the atrium space. So where we have a skylight into the building. So we thought about a laminated glass can be used here. So this is 12 plus 12 plus PVB, which this is the specification which we used in this atrium space. So here on your left, we can see the construction phase of the atrium level. So we want to create that cross pattern to support the glasses there. These are all the images which that during the construction phase we have taken. Also, I can showcase the recent photographs of the completed image. This Midas Gold, which done magical to this building actually. So we were very much happy, and client also very much impressed with the final output. Yeah, I want to explain about my next project, which is New Rajasthani Marbles. So we had totally a different challenge in this building because this building is completely a steel structure building. So there is no concrete, there is no civil structure into this concept. The main objective of this project is the site sits along the prominent road. So we want to create a strong visual presence to this building. Also, we want to the people get engaged to the facade. So we want to think about a distinctive tone and yeah, want to immediately capture the attention of the public. So also we want to create some brand identity to the building. So and also we have a lot of design challenges in this project, which is a time bounded project. This is so we don't have much time to take decision because we want to complete the project in 12 to 15 months. So we had a lot of challenges like how to go with the project and what type of material we can use and how quickly we can complete this project. Also, we think about the sustainability factor and reusability factor also. So you can see the how the framing has been done for this project. So we focused more into the facade. So you can see the facade layering of this project. The central portion of that slide, you can see where the display areas is coming and where is the entry has been given. So generally, we thought about giving the glass at the central part. Then we want to give more openness and to gain more lighting. We thought about going with the complete glass from the end to end of the facade. So on your left, you can see how the framing has been done. So after the metal CSP structure, then we done with the structural framing. Then the aluminum framing has been done. Then we thought about going with the complete facade with the glass. So this is the render which we done for the proposal. The mainly we thought about the forest green glass from Saint-Gobain. The mainly we choose this forest green to get the visual identity. Also, we have it's a south facing site where we have lot of greenery foliage at the front of the building. So to complement that green color also, we thought about a forest green. Also, this glass is much protecting from harmful UV rays. Also, it protects interior fading because it's a tile showroom, also sanitary showroom. Most of the products will be displayed interior, so it doesn't get faded quickly. So this glass has that property to avoid fading. Also, we gain optimum daylights also. So this is the proposal which we given for the design. So this is the final output of the project. So where you can see the complete facade cladded with forest green glazing. It's another evening view. So totally this project become a landmark in that road, that particular road. So beyond aesthetics, this glass has been played a critical role in speed of execution because we want to complete this project in a fast pace. So we thought about a glazing which helps us to complete the project because while during the construction itself, we make the panel sizes and we make to order actually. So once the framing has been done, the glass was ready. So it's easy to install at the time of execution. Also, we want to complement that glazing facade with some stainless steel CNC cut panels, which is giving some aesthetical uniqueness to the building. So you can see that CNC panels, which is complemented with the glazing. This is the interior view. So where you can see the shadow and pattern through the light. So you can see that CNC panel, which is complementing the forest green facade. Even the doorway and the entry area. So everywhere we have cladded with the forest green glazing. As I told, it sits on the main road. Now we achieved to grab the attention of the public. So this is some of the view from inside. So which we are harvesting the daylight through this glazing. So you can see, as I mentioned, the green foliage at the front of the building because client has a query because we are giving a complete facade with the glazing. What about the sun radiation, which will lose the air temperature, like air condition efficiency, all these things. But we just have the advantage of green foliage at the front of the building, which helps us to cut off the radiation naturally. So you can see the exterior image on the top slide with complete green foliage at the front of the building. And the below slide, you can see that CNC cut panels with SS, which complementing the facade design. Now I want to talk about my third project, which is LTM Banquets and Suites. So this is another interesting project which we worked with the complete glazing. So as I mentioned in my initial slides, this project also the complete design initiated from the site context. The moment we visited this site, the main thing we saw was the bigger temple at the adjacent to the project. Also a big temple tank which is front of the building site. So initial thought process is how to harvest this view because we have a beautiful temple nearby. Also, we have a beautiful temple tank which has water 365 days there. So we mainly design concept is to how to harvest the complete view. So we thought about having a panoramical glass to the building. Then you can see from the building, if you have a look, this is the view we see near the temple tank. The another eastern side, we have a temple view. So this is our proposal which we given for this building. So you can see the complete glazing all around wrapped like 360-degree. We have not 360-degree, maybe 180-degree we have covered with glass to have that complete view. So this is after completion. So in this project, mainly we choose the glass name is called Orient Blue for the facade. So Orient Blue is primarily we thought about harvesting the panoramical view. It has a vibrant tone to it. And especially we chosen Saint-Gobain ET725. That is a high performance thermal insulation glass, which is also helps us to reduce heat transfer. Because when we thought about the three sides glass, the main question from client is how about the retain the AC temperature? Because when it is open more area to the glass, definitely there will be sun radiation which hits the building. The internal temperature will get lost actually, even though if we put air condition. So to maintain that, we thought about going for a insulated glass. Then we approached Saint-Gobain. They have recommended for this ET725. There are even advanced glasses also there, but for this particular building, since it's a tier 2 city, we thought about affordability point of view also, because client has to afford to spend for the glass. So we had an economical range of glass in this type, so we use this. So these are all some technical parameters of that particular glass. It has 18% of thermal insulation there. So it has active glare reduction. Also, it has lowest U value. So UV protection also is there. Also, if you think about sustainability factor, it will match with the green building recommendations also. Also, the most interesting part of this design is we create a geometrical pattern in the facade. You can see there is a aluminum pins inside the in the facade, which we created that geometrical pattern just to reduce the size of the glass. Because the size has been reduced, it has more safety. Because smaller panels are very less vulnerable. Also, it will lesser impact to the building actually. And the other side, it will be low cost also compared to the larger panels. Also, it creates some rhythm and texture to the facade. So it creates a beautiful architectural identity to that particular spot. So you can see that pattern. So we made it as like 6x4 panels and 6x2 panels. So in case of any breakages, the glass can be replaced easily. Also, we have given some wooden touch to the facade, where you can see that the site is surrounded with trees. In front of the building also, we have more of a trees. To represent that wooden color, we just introduce some wooden random boxes to the facade. And the main parameter is we save space through using this glazing. So I have given some comparison to the sketches in this slide, where you can see a building inside. That blue line which I mentioned is the edge of the slab. So after the slab casted, if you are going with the brick wall, definitely it required 230 mm. Along with plastering, it will be like 250 mm it's required. So apart from that, we need to have some cladding to the building. So the overall carpet area will be get reduced compared to the glazing area. If you see in the glazing area, the complete floor area can be utilized. So this is one another advantage of the glass, which we can save more space, because in commercial buildings, every square feet is matters actually. This is another view of the building. The sun rising view from the terrace of the building. These are all the exterior images of the building. So here are few images. You can see the temple view, also the pond view. So this is our fourth project, which is Quality Arcade. This project is located in Puducherry on the main busy street of the city. So where you can see the main road junction there. So this two roads which is connecting on the upper side, which is towards Chennai. One is towards the GST road, one is towards the ECR road. So mainly this site located in the busiest road of Pondicherry. So we thought about doing this project with some aesthetical identity to this building, because it's a tile showroom building. So we doesn't have a thought to display all the products in the facade. Instead, we thought about going with the aesthetical value to the building. That's how the concept has been started. So you can see the sketch, which has a protruded random protruded projections in different levels, which we thought about cladding with tile. Then we had an idea to go with a louver, because these are all different options we tried out. Then finally we settled up with the glass option. So this is the final rendering which we done for the building. So here the main glass we used is this Saint-Gobain True Vision bronze glass. This is also a solar reflective glass. So mainly these are all the design purpose which is adding value to our project. In this bronze glass, which has a glaring reduction capacity. Also it has a nice sophistication look also is there. We doesn't introduce any horizontal mullions to the project, because we want to create an uninterrupted reflection to this building. Also, to compose and give aesthetical value to this project, we introduced that protruding volumes actually. So we have given add and the depths and dynamism to the facade. So it has a split facade. So almost 60 to 70% of the building has glazing, and balance area we have done with the paint finish. So this is the construction image, which is recently completed this, but we need to yet to take a professional photograph for the project. So this is the another angle of view. So since as I told, it's the busiest roads in the city, we want to think about create a movement of light to the building. So the protruded element, which is cladded with bronze glass, whenever we have a sun movement, there is a movement of light in the, you can see in the glazing. Also, it has a reflection. So whenever the people has traveling in that road, mainly they can attracted to this. Movement of light also for the reflection. So the facade always feel alive. Anytime if you see, it will catches the eye of the passerbys there. Also, the bronze tint beautifully reflects the light in the warm tones actually. So we got a random volumetric protrusions which complement the complete design. So this is the completed view of the building. So where you can see that random protrusion throughout the building, which create that movement of light. So this will have impact of different type of reflection at the daytime, in the evening time, and the morning time. So it has a play of light. Also, it's you can see the reflections also there. So some portion has the trees reflection, some portion has the sky reflections. So it has some play of light. So these are all some progress photos, how the civil work has been done, how the glazing has been installed there, where you can see there is no horizontal mullions has been given. Yeah, so the result in this facade is it create that commercial elevation into a living interface between architecture and the city. So that's the main objective we achieved through this design. And here is my last project, which is the under construction project. This is a IT office building which we are doing in Siriseri. So this is another interesting project which we're working now. So you can see the facade itself with the in and out there. I think everyone can observe the design. So this is the site of our project. I have shown the sun movement in this design. So the client requirement is he want to go with the complete glazing throughout the building. So there is not much brick wall, not much solid surface. They want to create a corporate look. Also, they want to minimize the civil works. So the main objective and the requirement from client itself, we want to go with the glass. Then again, we had a challenge here because of sunlight. There will be too much of radiation into the building. So how to cut off that? So then we had a brainstorming session with our team. Then finally we came up with one solution. Why can't we make a external wall as a with these type of zigzag pattern? So where you can see the glass, the movement of sunlight from south to uh, uh, sorry, from east to west, the building is facing in the south road actually. So that's how we have gained to cut off the radiation through this sunlight. So almost from the morning sun till it comes to the southern part of the site, almost 50% of the surface will get a heat radiation. Another 50% there won't be much light because of this in and out of the pattern. So from afternoon to evening, the other half will be get radiated. So the eastern part will have a lesser radiation. So this is through this pattern we have achieved around 30 to 40% of the radiation by designing and how to fix the pattern of the glass. So here you can see the final rendering of the building. So this is completely that tucked in and tucked out pattern. So this will gain the natural light. Also, it will cut off the sun radiation. So it's more of like 50-50. This will happen through the movement of sunlight. In this high-rise building, the another main factor which we gain is by reducing the civil works, we are also reducing the cost in a way because we are giving glazing. The unit weight of the brickwork or the solid wall when compared to glazing, that will be higher. So definitely the complete dead load of the building will be increased. Also the cost also will get increased. Now we can do the framework. After that, we just fix complete glazing to the building. That will enormously reduce the dead load of the building. So we can avoid reducing the civil works, which is adding up more weight to the building. So in this project, we thinking about going with the SGG, that Saint-Gobain Antileo Plus series, but we didn't yet to define the model glass which we are going to use. Since we are approaching to get IGBC platinum rating for this particular project, we are thinking about the premium series of glass. So if you see as a conclusion, as I said, it is reducing the dead load, also which is saving cost to the civil budget. Also the carpet area, which is we can save. Also it will invite more light. Also it's a sustainable material, which helps to suit the requirements of green building. So we can get labeling like LEED or IGBC. So this glazing will be much helpful for the sustainability rating factors also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for showcasing us the wide range of projects you have. Though you have brushed upon what different types of glass can make a difference in striking a solution for a large-scale project, we're all intrigued from audience point of view, and we would like to pick few questions, maybe pointing out one of your project or like all of your projects to kind of understand what type of glass in depth can be spoken about. Because today's conversation also runs about glass and the selection and the ideology and the solution that it brings to your buildings and designs. Though you have brushed upon the projects largely, we'll try to pick up one aspect from each.
Yes.
Continuing to the conversation we had earlier, the hotel Le Royale like showcases the use of Midas glass, like you showcased to us, to match the interior theme and the hardware also.
Mm.
For new architects and designers, selecting the right type of glass can be a very daunting task because every single day there's an evolution that's coming up and thousands of products are being seen. So,
Yes.
what factors do you consider while choosing glass for a project, especially in terms of aesthetic, functionality, and sustainability?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we had an idea to go with some type of a glass because while designing stage, we never thought about any type of finishes or any type of material because we used to do more options for the designing. So initially we thought about a contemporary design. So after thinking about the design context and the site context, as I mentioned before, we want to create a contrasting element to the particular site. So then we thought about the monolithic structure. So we want to paint it with a single color because sandstone is again the cost involving factor. So we thought about creating a texture paint with sandstone finish. So after putting together all the design, then with the normal blue glazing. So because I'm also not much aware of that Midas gold. So as a normal glazing we have done with the design. And after seeing that, that blue color totally broken the facade of the design because
Yeah.
it's become a two different entity. Then we approached Saint Gobain and we had a discussion. So we had an idea to go with something like a gold because the interior theme also completely with the gold hues actually. Then they have given a suggestion about there is a glass called Midas Gold, which later I got to know that is not a regular material which is available in the market.
Right.
Maybe we have to there is available in the market, but it's not like other glasses actually. Then we have implemented that particular glass to the building. It has a complete monolithic look. Then
Yes.
the technical parameters, we had a discussion with technical team. So whether we have to use the 6 mm or 5 mm. So all these discussions happened. Then we thought about deciding to go with the 6 mm thickness Midas gold glass. Also, we are keen about the sizes of the glass because if you are going with the larger glasses, because the projects, almost 2 to 3 projects which are shown, all are in tier 2 cities. So cost is also another factor. So
Yes.
everyone is not affordable to glow with much glasses actually because for safety parameters, for costing parameter, also for installation, the type of equipments which is available. If you see in cities and all, we have gondolas to install the
Mm.
glasses. The equipments are available. So a lot of parameters are there actually. So particularly we go with some 1 meter by 1 meter panel. to make the installation easier, also to serve my client on affordability way, also to achieve the design in the right direction.
Absolutely. I think the material glass here plays an important role. If not glass, I'm not able to think of any other material that can be customizable with respect to architect's need, desire, solution, and also client's understanding. So I think this is where the customizable options of glass with respect to hardware, structural strength, aesthetics, and functionality come into place.
Yes.
So completely take that as a point for the young architects to understand the different parameters before they even put their hand on a glass for the building. So moving on, we also spoke about Rajasthani Marbles and Tiles Experience Center you've shown. So you've combined SGG forest green solar reflective glass with perforated metal panels for the facade. We also saw that.
Yeah.
So could you talk to us about how you approach the integration of two contrasting materials, metal and glass, and how this combination helped address both climatic needs and also the visual identity of the building, which is very important.
Yeah, definitely. Because see, the main objective is while we designing, the site orientation is facing on the south. So, the site location is facing on the west actually. So
Right.
honestly, the east sun is comparatively to the west sun, which is more hard actually. So when you see, you can the human beings can tolerate the east sun compared to the western because that will
Yeah.
be too harsh. So the
Harsh.
moment we propose the glass at the facade should be complete glazing. Client has a first question is because it's a south facing, how we are going to cut off the radiation because a lot of customers will be coming inside. So since it's a tile showroom, so they don't want to people get
So
stuck with the
uncomfortable
smell.
indoor.
Yeah,
Yes.
they want to have some comfortable feel. So then few things we thought about the glazing is one is we have to go with the solar reflective thing. Another thing, the natural foliage which is there, we want to
Mm.
use that also, which is cutting of the solar radiation. Then we thought about some kind of perforation or some kind of a screen wall, which also should complement the glazing. It should not affect that idea of glazing. Then we done a lot of experiments internally with our design team. Then we thought about the stainless steel. Also, the site is located in nearby, it's kind of a beach town. So the
Right.
chances of rusting also is there actually. So
Absolutely.
glass is also one sustainable material. Then we thought about going with the SS grade 304 category, which is rust proof. So where
Absolutely.
we create some pattern to that SS stainless steel, which had more value. And if you see the forest green color is totally a different color. This stainless steel has a different value. So we made it like a contrasting of two materials. So then after completing installation, the result is very nice actually. Also, the main objective initially we thought is we have to attract the people to make them to have a identity, visual
Visit.
identity to the project. So everything has been happened after composing things rightly.
Absolutely. I think the beauty of architecture also lies in how creatively we mix two polar opposite materials and they work in tandem to achieve the result that we want as a designer, also definitely in client's interest. So that's an absolutely well taken point on how glass can be a friendly material with other elements also in asset industry. Great, sir. So moving on, we have Lakshmi Mahal next. So you chose solar reflective glass, not just for thermal insulation, but also to maximize the panoramic views that you mentioned about. So could you walk us through how you strategically position the glass elements to ensure both energy efficiency and uninterrupted sightlines in the same space that hosts large social gatherings can be achieved?
Yes. See, while we designing this Lakshmi Mahal, initially we thought about going with some solid surfaces with few windows and a regular cladding kind of a stuff. That was our initial thought. So basically, after getting this complete site details, we got a nice view of a pond, also a temple. Then the moment we thought about glass, the first question from client is the cost because you are going to completely cladding with the glass means the cost will definitely rise up. So whether we have to go with complete glazing or certain area you can do the glazing, that kind of discussion arises actually. Then we convinced. Then we had the construction also started slowly. The framework has been moving. So once the levels are getting raised up, we really in real time we are seeing the views from different levels in the first floor level, from the second floor level. So client also get to understand the proximity of that
Okay.
site. Then later on, after discussion, client is also gave approval for the glazing. Okay, let's invest on this. We can go with the complete glazing. Then the second parameter challenge was the air conditioning, because it's going to be a large area. Also, it's a public gathering space. The CFM will be more. So the number of people occupancy is there, means they will get the thermal because of this sunlight.
Mm.
AC's life and the withstanding capacity, everything will be get failed actually because of more population also. Then we approached Saint-Gobain and we got an idea to go with this ET725 series, which they recommended. This is not too expensive. Also, it will reduce insulation by 18 to 20%. The cost also will be much affordable for this type of project. So then we got to know there is a solution for these kind of affordable point of view also. Then we chosen to go with the blue Orient blue glass actually. Then comes to cut off the costing, we just created that pattern and the geometrical rhythmic pattern to the building to reduce the glass size, which is enormously cut off the radiation. And for a safety point of view also, since we are giving more glazing to the project, in case of any damages, the vibration on the main road. So a lot of factors has been in the discussion. So we just make sure to make the glass panels as smaller as possible. So instead of reducing just the glass sizes, we created a pattern to it. So
Right.
we'll have some rhythmic pattern and adding value to that facade.
Absolutely. That's a very interesting idea to cut short and to optimize the utilization of the material with respect to the demand the building has. Well noted, sir. So, going on to almost the last but one question for this webinar. In Quality Arcade, you mentioned the use of bronze glass to achieve moment and the flow of reflection. So, how did this particular type of glass contribute to the functionality of that space?
Actually, see, as I told in our initial design discussion, since it's a tile showroom, our client and
Mm.
we had a discussion to clad with complete tiling. So we want
Right.
to give different type of tiles in the facade. So after we worked on the design and the 3D development stage, in the renderings and all, we couldn't able to see that volume of the building, because we thought about going with some protrusion to create some interesting value to it, because tile doesn't have any reflection. So we thought of giving as an option to go with the bronze glass, which is naturally a reflective material. Also, we doesn't have given any mullions to it. So it's a clean vertical lines, because that is also added complement to that height of the building. So we have a light movement from the south to north direction actually. We can see different type of pattern to it. You can see the movement of light. So each from morning to afternoon to evening, it has different patterns to the facade. So we had an idea. So instead of tile, if we are going for the glazing only, we can achieve that. So after completion, client also understand that idea actually.
Yes.
Also, it's the busiest street. The more number of vehicles in the are moving in that particular road. So whenever they can see, the building will have a different look actually. It won't look in
Mm.
the same feel. Morning it will look in a different color. Afternoon,
Mm.
because the lighting changes, right? So the building
Changes every.
it has changes that meaning of that building. So it
Mm.
has different connectivity to architecture and the city. So it's a kind of a
Absolutely.
communication to the city.
Absolutely. And also, this brings us to the last question, sir. So, in the Solver Mines Technology office building, you mentioned to achieve thermal insulation by placement of glass in design. How did this particular glass type contribute to achieve it with respect to thermal insulation in this office building?
Yeah, as rightly said, like we got a requirement from the client not to go with any civil structure.
Mm.
My client requirement is mainly go with the glazing. Since it's a high-rise building, also it has 360-degree, it's open area. So definitely we have to go with some kind of a thermal insulated building glazing. Also, the another objective for this project is we are approaching to get IGBC platinum rating for this building.
Right.
So we have applied for that, and we are following their norms to achieve the sustainability standards. So the rating system, also the proper approval and certification system, which we got to know from Saint Gobain, there are these type of series glasses, which is more into much sustainable buildings actually. So we thought of going with that particular glass because design of the glass we not yet chosen actually, but we want to go with that particular series.
Right.
So since it's a large area, so through design, how we can impact or reducing the thermal insulation was a challenge actually. If, instead of going with the plain glazing facade, again we have to face more challenges. So just by keeping a small pattern to the glass, like in and out pattern.
Yeah.
So basically we designed through in contrast with the movement of sunlight only. So luckily we have a south facing site because here also that site context is
Very
involved.
important.
Yeah. So since it's in the south facing, we have a movement of light from east towards south and towards setting in the west. So we created into a like V-shaped panels. The placement of glass is like that. So from morning to afternoon, only 50% of light gain will be there. So that's how we have achieved through design. So here we have two parameters. One we achieved through design. The another parameter which we achieved through the glazing. So which is again helpful for us to achieve this design to
Absolutely.
control that temperature also.
Right, absolutely. So I think this is the best part of making the combinations work, right? Like sometimes people bash few materials or even the design ideas and innovations just because the root has not been addressed, which has been context throughout. Like you need to design building for that particular city, that particular site, and that particular client, which are a very important part of our design journey and process. Though we believe in sustainability and our core aligns with having more environmental friendly designs, more aesthetic and innovative solutions, we also need to make sure all the things fall in place so that the building is not taking much from the earth, like in general for the sustainability aspect. I think this conversation for our audience also will bring this nudge in right direction, especially the young students and the graduates who are just passing out of colleges, to understand how important an architect's role is to manage all these collaborators, clients, material discussion, choices, innovations that fall into place. Apart from the only creative thought they have, they need to balance multiple things to make sure they strike a very right and responsible design.
Yes.
So with this, we come to the close end of this insightful session, sir. And I'd like to once again extend our heartfelt thanks to you for taking out your time and running us through this journey of yours through all the kinds of projects that though you showed us a glimpse of projects, we understood your design approach through different typologies that you showed us. So each story offered not only a glimpse, but also the design process and the depth that was involved in understanding a material like glass when used responsibly and creatively, can become a very powerful solution to modern architectural challenges that we face. And your approach to balancing aesthetics, performance, sustainability, and practical timelines also, which is very important, is truly inspiring. And we must say, especially young professionals and students who join the session will find it really valuable. So on behalf of all of us at Glass Academy and Ethos Empowers, thank you so much for joining and generously sharing your work and expertise with us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you a lot for Glass Academy and Ethos Empowers for giving this opportunity for me to present in this privileged platform. So I'm just honored to present our project in this. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. And a big thank you to our audience as well for your participation and engagement throughout the session. And we hope you're leaving here with new ideas, fresh inspirations, and also a renewed appreciation for the many roles that glass plays in the building. So stay tuned for our upcoming sessions as we continue to shape conversations around material intelligence, glass, and architectural innovation. Until then, see you all in the next webinar. Thank you very much.